Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome to Season 2 of Vampyre Clan in ClanGen. In the last episode, the clan attempted to overcome their grief over Snappaw's loss and focus on training the youngsters in their final patrol. Pumpkin Paw refused to move away from her nest, but even so, the elders of the clan acknowledged her as the best of her batch. We are now picking up on the second turn of Greenleaf, and it is Moon 100. So let's dive in and take a look at what happens next. There is so much going on right now, but I am glad, for one, that the vampires have something else to focus on aside from the death of Snappaw's. So let's see. Vampyre Clan does not have enough healthy medicine cats. Cats will be sick/hurt for longer and have a higher chance of dying. Vampyre Clan doesn't have enough prey for the next moon, which means we have to focus on hunting. Monster Quiet Flight picks herself up out of her nest and begins the day anew, a fresh conviction in her heart. Ibis Freckles' bad leg is feeling particularly sore this moon, so Quiet Flight is getting over her guilt of her granddaughter dying to save her. But Sunnytail, I don't think he's forgiven himself for not being able to save her just yet. Eagledon's running nose is gone. And then our ceremonies, our Mistwalker ceremonies. Grandmaster Bluestar rests her muzzle on Pumpkin Buzz's head and declares her to be a full Mistwalker of Vampyre Clan, honoring her dignity. I was pondering whether or not to change Pumpkin Buzz's name, but I actually like the idea that when she was a kitten, she was noisy, and her sister always was telling her to shut up, and she never really did. And now, as a fully fledged Mistwalker and Pumpkin Princess, she has kept the name Buzz, almost as I think a little shot at her sister, saying, you always told me to shut up, but now I won't for the rest of my life because you're not here to do that for me. So it's, I think, a nice connection to the fact that they used to always fight with one another, but at the end of the day, they would have, I think, given their lives for each other. So that's actually really nice. I thought I'd keep that for that reason in my head. And then Eagledon gives Sunnypaw a friendly nudge when the leader calls the young cat's name. He watches with pride as Sunnypaw steps forward to receive his new name, Sunnyquiver, and is honored for his versatility. This was another name I was wondering whether or not to change, but I liked Quiver for him. If we think about the very last patrol he had as a fledgling, where he stepped inside that mushroom circle when he wasn't supposed to, and he felt a chill kind of go down his spine, I kind of like the idea that as he continues to go through life as a Mistwalker, there'll always be a part of him that looks over his shoulder to see if he upset something back in his final patrol as fledgling. So let's take a look at them. So here we have Pumpkin Buzz and Sunnyquiver. Pumpkin Buzz, she does have the title of Pumpkin Princess, so she was one of 2 fledglings who graduated in her batch, and she is the Pumpkin Princess. Now she, in terms of her appearance, looks quite interesting, I would say. Very, very interesting over here. It doesn't look like anyone else that we have in the clan. I feel like she, you know what, the fact that she's confident, she's retained that confidence from her apprentice or her fledgling days, it is reflected in her coat. Her coat is very loud and her coat is very confident, I would say. And then we have Sunnyquiver, who has retained his adventurous personality and is a great mediator. You know what? Throughout his entire childhood, I have never looked at Sunnyquiver and thought to myself, within his litter, he is my favorite in terms of appearance. But now that the youngsters have grown up, when I'm looking at him, his coat, I definitely think out of him and his sister, he probably has my favorite coat. I like his coat the most. It looks so pretty to me. Is there a theme? I mean, if we look at Bloomrise, Eagledon, and Sunnyquiver, the cats I apparently like a lot, they have similar coats. So I must just be drawn to that kind of coat. Regardless, they are beautiful, beautiful cats. But I want to take a look at how Pumpkin Buzz was influenced by her mentor. So she was mentored by her uncle Fornest, who she chose. Fornest influenced her to be more likely to use words over teeth and claws, have trouble adapting, and break away from the status quo. Fornest helped her become better at resolving arguments. Okay. And then with Sunnyquiver, he was mentored by his cousin Eagledon. Eagledon influenced him to be more likely to try to avoid violence and follow rules. Okay, so he definitely spent a lot less time with his cousin Eagledon than his sister did with their uncle. So I could kind of see how there might be less that he took on compared to Pumpkin Buzz. But that is actually very, very sweet and interesting and exciting, and I'm glad that they managed to survive. But I think what we've seen across our clans, particularly the vampires, is that the infant mortality rate is very high. Very, very high. We rarely have litters that reach adulthood without at least one of the kittens dying before that. Let's go over to the medicine cat den. Master Quiet Flight recovers from her grief. Eagledon was given ragwort as treatment for running nose, and then he recovered from that. Let's take a look at relationships. Grandmaster Bluestar didn't expect an apology from Sunnyport, but accepted it regardless. Grandmaster Bluestar realizes that she misunderstood something Sunnyport said. Pumpkinpaw has a talent that Burnleaf wants to have. Burnleaf is happy to see Sunnypaw is the cat who's helping him today. Master Quiet Flight trusts Pumpkinpaw with a very important task. Master Quiet Flight backs up one of Pumpkinpaw's claims during one of Pumpkinpaw's arguments. Master Quiet Flight can't stop gushing over Grandmaster Bluestar. Sunnytail tells a story to Bloomrise, and Bloomrise suggests how to make it even better. Sunnytail and Sunnypaw heckled a Vampire Hunter clan at the gathering together today. Iris Freckle and Bloomrise have multiple inside jokes with one another. I think the death of Snappaw has actually brought Ibis Freckle a little bit closer to the other vampires that she had problems with in the past. Maybe because it has awakened a little bit of feeling in her. Ibis Freckle appreciates Sunnypaw's helpful attitude. Fornest had a fight with Ibis Freckle. Oh, okay. So brother and sister having a bit of a fight. Sunnypaw admits that Fornest did something clever. Bloomrise defends Ibis Freckle in conversations. Bloomrise has been a little kinder to Pumpkinpaw today. Both Eagledon and Master Quiet Flight startle at a clap of thunder. Pumpkin Buzz and Burnleaf enjoy each other's company, so this is after the youngsters have had their Mistwalker ceremonies. Sunnyquiver has been a little kinder to his sister Pumpkin Buzz today. Aww. And I think they would definitely be thinking about the sister who didn't make it. But that is all we have for events. Now we shall take a look at the cat list. But before we go through and see how everyone is doing, we are aware that Bloomrise and Eagledon were matched up quite a while back. They broke up after one moon, and they made it clear that they felt they were too young to go into parenthood or relationship that soon, and Bluestar, for the most part, decided to leave it alone. But Bluestar has kind of decided that they have had quite a lot of time to develop themselves, be independent, and kind of pursue whatever it was that they wanted to. And she is going to declare a new match in the clan. So Bluestar has decided that she's going to announce a match between Bloomrise and Sunnyquiver. Yep. So one grandson kind of rejected the match. Eagledon, one of her first grandson, her older grandson, rejected the match a while back. But now Bluestar, she is going to make a match for Bloomrise with her younger grandson, Sunnyquiver. So let's go ahead and see how this is going to work out. So Bloomrise and Sunnyquiver. Bloomrise is ambitious, Sunnyquiver is adventurous, and Eagledon is adventurous too. So they might not work out with each other like the same as what happened last time with Eagledon. The interesting thing also is that Sunnyquiver was mentored by Eagledon. So Bloomrise, she was paired up with Eagledon, and now she's being paired up with Eagledon's apprentice, her ex-mate's fledgling. But we're gonna go ahead. This is gonna be official. We'll see how this goes. Bloomrise, she is older, she is wiser, and Sunnyquiver is very young. He is very, very young. But I don't know if he's the same age that Eagledon was when he got matched up with Bloomrise. We'll have to see. But I wonder if this is going to end up the same way it did with Eagledon in a disaster, or if there's going to be something different. Maybe something in Bloomrise has changed in all these moons. I mean, the last time the match happened with her, it was, I think, as soon as her father had died, so I imagine emotionally her head was elsewhere as well. And this time around, we actually have a whisper that can help with their relationship. And we have seen that Bloomrise has actually improved. Like, Bloomrise has actually, I don't know if she's forgiven Ibis Freckle, but she has gotten over a lot of the negative feelings she had about Ibis Freckle, which were very fresh when she was mated to Eagledon. Plus, Ibis Freckle is Sunnyquiver's mother, so I don't think Sunnyquiver would have a problem with this. Oh, something I forgot to do, which I'll actually do right now. Because before I forget, since Pumpkin Buzz and Sunnyquiver are now Mistwalkers, we need to see whether or not they are loyal to Blue Star. So let's go ahead and check. Okay, Pumpkin Buzz is a loyalist of Blue Star because Blue Star is one of her first 4 relationships. So she's going to get a little star. And then for Sunnyquiver, he is not a loyalist of his grandmother. Okay. Now that's intriguing. I wonder if part of that is because he is kind of not happy with being matched up so quickly. He kind of feels the way Eagledon did in the past, his having to grow up too quickly. But at Bloomrise, hold on, I need to allow you to have kits. I also need to let Sunnyquiver have kits. And then we're gonna go over to Ibis Freckle, and Ibis Freckle is going to whisper between them, and this is the first time in the entirety of this season we have been able to use our whispers to actually whisper romance between our couples. So let's grab Bloomrise and Sunnyquiver. Okay, this is kind of good in that Sunnyquiver does feel, well, Bloomrise and Sunnyquiver, they do feel very safe with one another, which might be a good place for them to kind of work from. But right now, they're just considering each other. Ibis Freckle is obviously going to help mediate. Okay, so trust, romance, comfort has increased, jealousy has decreased. So both Bloomrise and Sunnyquiver, so far, after getting to know one another, they are realizing that actually, maybe I could see myself having a litter with this cat. Bloomrise, she's ambitious, she sees Sunnyquiver's adventurous side, and unlike when she was a little bit younger, she kind of feels as though there is merit in that, and the fact that he is not afraid of the world despite losing his sister kind of shows what a mature cat that he is. And for Sunnyquiver, maybe seeing someone so strong and ambitious like Bloomrise, who has pretty much no blood family, like blood relatives in the clan, but has managed to stay strong, keep a head up, and be proud, he might find that is something to shelter under. So this will be very interesting going forward. Like, obviously with Bloomrise and Eagledon, it took them 1 moon to realize that no, they were not a good fit. But it would be interesting to see if things were going in a different direction with these two. Okay, well. I mean, Sunnyquiver, he might not actually, maybe he came in with a certain prejudice, but he came in being a little bit rebellious or not wanting to, but then after having his mother whisper romance between himself and Bloomrise, he kind of realized that actually Bloomrise has, this really intriguing side to her. But I almost wonder, I mean, a lot of the times we do say that the loyalties are dependent on the clan focus and whether or not a cat agrees with that. I suppose with Pumpkin Buzz, she might agree that kind of peace is the way with the Vampire Hunter clans, and they haven't had any incidents with the Vampire Hunter clans, so she doesn't see why they should provoke them. And I mean, Sunny Quiver, he's almost following in the footsteps of his cousin and mentor Eagle Dawn. Maybe he disagrees. And his mother Ibis Freckle, you know, and his Uncle Fornest, his grandfather Burnleaf, maybe he feels as though there is nothing to be ashamed of about being in touch with the vampiric side. Because in his experience, growing up, he kind of saw that everyone seemed to know something about his mother, or maybe she was more vampiric than others. Obviously, the kids don't know about the murder. And they kept trying to separate Ibis Freckle from Snappaw, but then Snappaw died doing something heroic. And yet she was always in touch with her darker vampiric self, kind of like their mother. So in his eyes, there is nothing wrong with being vampiric. And I think maybe that's the divide he has with his sister's thinking and with Blue Star's thinking. That was a lot to talk about, but what can I say? We had some stuff to get through. Now let's see what everyone's doing for the day. Grandmaster Blue Star is feeling blessed by Star Clan this moon. Master Quiet Flight is assessing. Maybe she's thinking back to when she was assessing the fledglings. Sunnytail is debating swimming to cool down. Ibis Freckle got caught in a sudden downpour and is not happy about it. Fornest saw a kitty pet sitting calmly next to a dog. Bloomrise made sure to wake up early to volunteer for the Dawn Patrol. Eagle Dawn is craving the taste of fish. Pumpkin Buzz wishes she could take the day off. Sunny Quiver sharpens his claws. And Burnleaf found a wonderful napping spot outside camp, and that is all we have for the cat list. We are moving on to patrols, and I am fairly sure we need to focus on food. Yep. We currently have 20 prey. We need 26.5, so most definitely we're going to be focusing on food. Now, our Mistwalker is still down. Not Mistwalker, Nightstalker, Sunnytail is still down. So it is just going to be a patrol of 6. They're going to go out on a hunt. So we have Grandmaster, Blue Star, Master Quiet Flight, Eagle Dawn, Bloomrise, Fornest, and Sunny Quiver. So let's see how they do. There's a spring in their steps as the cats head out. Today looks like a good day for hunting. So let's proceed. They find nothing. Actually nothing. This isn't just bad luck. This is something spooking the local prey away from this area of the territory, and it needs to be reported back to camp straight away. Oh no, that is not good. Thankfully, they didn't get into anything disastrous, but the fact that we don't have food means someone's gonna go hungry. But okay, now that we don't have any youngsters in the clan, it does mean that I am going to be playing off camera until I get a pregnancy notice. And then I'm gonna come back, give you guys a kind of recap or summary of everything that happened while we were away. And we shall continue onwards to, I think, the final episode of Season 2, so that's going to be pretty exciting. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.